When we start swinging, we need a moment for a legend who never flinched. Tomonobu Itagaki, who passed away yesterday, October 16, 2025. Mad genius who gave us Dead or Alive and brought Ninja Gaiden back with such fury. It snapped thumbs in half and made grown men cry on normal mode. He didn't just lead Team Ninja, he was Team Ninja. He made games with bite. No training wheels, no coddling, just steel and sweat and bouncy physics internet still ain't recovered from. He let Tecmo on his terms, built new studios from ashes, and kept pushing, kept fighting, kept flipping off mediocrity with sunglasses on indoors. Now just days before Ninja Gaiden 4 drops, he's gone. But make no mistake, every parry, every boss scream, every raid quit this week, has Itagaki's spirit still kicking ass from beyond. Rest in chaos, legend. Alright you lot, enough mourning. Let's get to bleeding carnage. Today's gaming hellwire comes gift wrapped in political bile, corporate greed and copycat lawsuits, all tied together with same old boa industry bollocks. It's a full house of hell today. No filters, no safe spaces, and no mercy for suits still trying to convince us it's just business. Let's get stuck in. Now before we start swinging elbows, let's get everyone caught up. In case you've been living under a Steam Deck, Electronic Arts, yeah that, EA, has just been bought out for $55 billion. Biggest leveraged buyout in gaming history. And buyers? Not who you'd expect. Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund is leading charge. Backing them? Silver Lake, one of the greatest private equity firms on planet. And Jared Kushner's affinity partners. Yeah, that Kushner. Trump's in-law with a diplomatic resume or a garden gnome. They're taking EA private. Entirely. No more shareholder reports, no more earnings calls, no more public scrutiny. Just three big entities pulling strings behind scenes while EA transforms from corporate poster child of Western AAA nonsense into something else. This isn't just financial power move, it's cultural one. Control company, control games. Control games, control narratives. And everyone who's built a career pushing progressive messaging through EA's pipeline is starting to panic. So now we've got usual suspects in Washington lighting their hair on fire. Elizabeth Warren and Richard Blumenthal rolled out 5-page panic attack disguised as a letter to Treasury. National security risk, the cry. Foreign influence, the wail. They're acting like Saudi Arabia just bought Pentagon, not publisher of FIFA 26, now with more microtransactions. But let's be real, this isn't about safety, it's about control. What they're really losing sleep over is that someone else, someone outside their bubble, now holds reins to one of gaming's biggest cultural pipelines. And worse, it's someone who don't give a toss about Western woke agenda. These aren't national security threats, they're ideological turf wars. See, for years now, certain people have used gaming, especially through AAA giants like EA, as a delivery system. Not just for fun, but for politics, messaging, agendas. And that were fine, as long as they were ones choosing message. Now, foreign state that don't give two shits about American progressive culture is about to steer ship. And that terrifies them. Not because it's undemocratic, they've been fine with censorship as long as it aligns with their side, but because it's out of their hands. It's not about Saudis, it's not about data, it's about losing ability to shape culture through games, and that's what they're really screaming about. And then there's devs. EA employees and the union, CWA, are stomping around waving red flags and crying foul. We weren't consulted, this is about greed, layoffs are coming. Yeah, that's how buyouts work, sunshine. Welcome to reality. They're acting like EA was some utopia of creative freedom. It won't. It's a corporate theme park pushing same woke nonsense with different skins every year. And now that ideological gravy train might be getting derailed, noise is deafening. But here's the thing, not all devs are a problem. There are good people in that building who just want to make proper games. But they've been drowned out for years by blue-haired loudmouths who think Twitter likes are a game mechanic and diversity quotas are more important than working netcode. These same people who complain about crunch and layoffs also cheered when entire franchises were turned into mouthpieces for ideological theatre. Now they're worried the jobs might go. Maybe they should be. Because if this deal does one thing right, it'll finally put a match to internal rot. Ones who want to code, design, build, they'll be fine. Ones who want to inject identity politics into every corner of a shooter, don't let do it your way out. EA's biggest creative block want budget, it were ideology. Now that might finally be getting flushed. Good. Let it burn. Let studio rebuild with people who want to make games, not write essays. Let's not dance around it. I support this deal. Not cause I think Saudi ownership is some gaming utopia. Not cause I'm thrilled about private equity pulling strings behind closed doors. I support it cause this might be the first time in years we see someone actually challenge ideological echo chamber EA has been trapped in. We've all seen that viral tweet. Battlefield 6 guns decked out in rainbow flags like they were decorating for a bloody paintball match. Look, I'm not against representation. If it fits world, tone, story, crack on. But plastering flags on rifles like it's virtue signalling merch drop, that's not representation. That's pandering. And it's kind of thing that happens when publishers lose plot and start designing games like brand activations. This deal, it might finally kill that nonsense at EA. And honestly, I'm fine with that. There are plenty of games out there that cater to every identity, every belief system, every cause. Someone wants to see themselves in a game? Great! There are studios doing that properly. But Battlefield doesn't need to be one of them. It needs to work. It needs to shoot. It needs to feel like war, not around the social media applause. And then there's people like Brian Audette. Do you remember his meltdown? Moral grandstanding, acting like he was some kind of martyr for basic feedback. I'm still playing Battlefield 6. Most people are. But Brian, you can almost hear resignation letter being drafted on Google Docs. Because let's be honest, once this deal is done, he's not going to want to stay. And that's fine. There's always Ubisoft. They've got a diversity calendar and a new pronoun mechanic in every menu. It'll be rated to them. But for those of us who just want to play a bloody game, to load in, frag out, and not be told what to believe before first kill, this deal's looking more like a blessing by day. Let Woke Warriors pack the bags. Resters have a match to win. Now we finish with Tencent. Dollar store dragon at games industry, currently getting its ass handed to it by Sony in what might be most blatant case of digital cosplay since Genshin Impact said, Zelda-oo? Back in July, Tencent dropped trailers for a mobile game called Light of Motiram, and fans instantly said what Sony's now putting into legal filings. This is Horizon with serial numbers filed off. Same tribal tech art style, same red-haired warrior woman, same robot wildlife. They even nicked soundtrack vibe. And yeah, they hired a former Horizon composer to do it. Tencent's defense? It's just genre tropes. Everyone does this. And anyway, we delayed game to 2027 so it don't count. Sony's response? Pull other one. You're already wearing Alloy's boots. Sony's 35-page legal slap accuses Tencent of running a shell game burying real ownership behind Aurora Studios, Level Infinite, and whatever other subsidiaries they had laying around. But domain? Registered to Tencent. Trademark? Tencent. Marketing and trailers? Tencent. Parent company still profits off it all. It's like watching someone rob your house while wearing your hoodie and saying, nah mate, want me? And fans? They clocked it immediately. Reddit, YouTube, even bloody IGN. Everyone said same thing. Is this a Horizon spin-off? Why does she look like Aloy with a cheap dye job? Did Sony greenlight this? Nope, they didn't. And now they're suing like a war crime just dropped in cosplay form. Sony wants case to move straight into discovery. They want emails, receipts, internal messages where someone definitely said, make her look like Aloy but not too close. And when that happens, Tencent's gonna need more than a delayed release date to dodge blast radius. So let's be clear, this ain't just a legal spat. This is about integrity. And right now, Tencent's sitting in a knockoff wig hoping nobody notices Bo looks familiar. And that's your gaming punch for today. If that didn't melt your motherboard, you're already part of the problem. Like, subscribe and all that bollocks. Drop your comments below. I want to know which of these stories makes you want to throw your console through a boardroom window. And I'll see you next time, you magnificent.